Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. My name is Pauline Victoria. I'm an inspirational thought leader and courage coach, and I'm wishing you a happy Thanksgiving from the big island of Hawaii. I am so grateful to be here today because Thanksgiving is one of my very favorite holidays because we get to intentionally take inventory of what we're grateful for. But like me, maybe a lot of you know that it's not limited to one day. In fact, being in a state of gratitude has been a foundational part of my life. My husband and I will be hanging out, and sometimes when I'm reflecting on everything I'm grateful for, I bubble up with excitement that usually manifests itself in a high screech, uh, high pitched screech. And my husband will be taken by surprise, and he'll say, "What's wrong?" And I'll respond, "Nothing. I'm just so happy." And then he'll dig a little bit deeper and say, "Why?" And usually my response is, "I don't know. I just feel so much joy, and I'm so grateful for the experiences that I've had in my life because those experiences were never guaranteed, nor did they come easy." I know it's probably hard for you to tell, but I was actually born without arms and legs. And I was quite the surprise to both the doctors and my parents when I was born. And when I was born, the doctors came in to meet with my parents to give them quote unquote options, and told them that because they weren't prepared, they didn't have the right knowledge and skills and resources available to them to raise a child with such severe disabilities. They try to convince my parents to give me up into an institution. But that day when I was born and the doctors were speaking logic into my parents' lives, my parents stood for me, stood for my potential, stood for my greatness. And they did that by stepping into the unknown, into the uncertainty of it all. But they stepped into it with faith, hope, and love. So you can imagine that as I was born without arms and legs, I have had many, many challenges that I've had to face and did not achieve things very easily, including the small things like sitting up, writing, feeding myself, swimming, and as I got older, driving, falling in love, having a baby and raising my son, and most recently, starting a business. But what I did do is I rose up to every challenge with courage. And that's why I now claim the title Courage Coach. As a courage coach, I help speakers, authors, coaches, and other thought leaders take the steps necessary for them to also step into their greatness. But what I have learned is that many people feel like their greatness is often just for a select few. And I don't believe that that is true. I do know, though, that most of us are not taught how to consistently access, own, and step into our greatness. And in looking back and reflecting on my life, what I uncovered was a formula for people to do just that so that they could manifest whatever it was that they desired or dreamed of. And I want to share that formula with you today. So, this is the formula that I have applied throughout my life over and over again to now then be able to look back on my life and see all the stuff that I have been grateful for. So, if you are interested in this formula, I'd really encourage you to get something to write with or type on, grab your phone, whatever it is. But I'm going to share that formula with you now. That formula is called the VISTA formula, and it is an acronym. And the acronym that VISTA stands for is vision, identity, strategy, Thanksgiving, and action. So I'm going to repeat that one more time so you make sure you get all of that down. It is vision, identity, strategy, thanksgiving, and action. Due to the limited time that we have here together, I'm only going to go over the pillar that is the most appropriate to go over for today, and that is Thanksgiving. I love word origins. So when I was looking at the word Thanksgiving, I knew it synonymously was related to gratitude. So when we are in a state of giving thanks, we are in a state of gratitude. And so what I did is I started looking up and digging into the word gratitude. And what I found was that gratitude comes from the Latin root gratus, which means pleasing, welcome, agreeable. Gratus is also the root of related terms such as grace, gratuity, and gratis, all signifying positive moods, ideas, and actions. And if you go back further into the root origin of the word gratitude, or now gratus, at its Proto-Indo-European root is the word guir, which means to praise, to celebrate, and to be in contact with the divine. What this does is it allows us to see the value, virtue, and benefit in everything, the good and the bad, our victories and our failures, our accomplishments and our challenges. When we look at gratitude from this perspective, we see that it's a spiritual concept. In fact, maybe a spiritual practice that is the antidote to many forms of suffering. Suffering is a path I could have easily and justifiably taken in my life, but I have chosen consciously to focus on what I am grateful for. And I know when people look at me, what they often see and recognize after observing me for a little bit is not something to be sad about, not something to be scared about, but something to be grateful for and living in joy. And so because I've chosen this path for myself of gratitude over suffering, I have been able to really focus on being in gratitude. So being in a state of gratitude is an inner force that helps us access our greatness on a consistent basis. By appreciating our strengths, resources, and growth, gratitude allows us to recognize our potential, fueling a positive mindset and empowering us to face challenges with self-belief. You see, our accomplishments don't make us great. Our greatness lies in the rising to our challenges and being refined by them. As my parents stood for me, for my potential, for my greatness, I now stand for other people who have a message or vision for the world that they know can make a difference. So if you are struggling with stepping into that vision, stepping into that greatness that you have within you, because the greatness is not for just the few, it is in each of us, and we're born with it. If you are struggling with stepping into it, I want to be able to stand for you as my parents stood for me. If you are interested in getting on a strategy call with me, you can email me. You can see it below. My email is Pauline@OneLegUpProductions.com. As we move forward in this month of Thanksgiving, I want to encourage you not to keep it to this one day. Thanksgiving is a powerful force that when we make it a daily practice, we connect with our best selves and are able to step into our greatness with courage and gratitude. I want to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. Take time to recognize everything you are grateful for. And when you do that, if we're going to take it a step further, I want you to know that it is you who attracted everything in your life to you. So everything that you're grateful for, you had a part in it. And that's a very empowering belief. So thank you for celebrating with me. And I wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving.